Hi guys, welcome. And who dat? I'm Joe. Today I will be reviewing this past weekend's game between the Atlanta Falcons and our beloved, bless you boys, the New Orleans Saints. We take on our NFC South rival for the second time, and we win for the second time. We sweep the Falcons. Final score here, 21-18. Game started off great. Atlanta kind of settled into the running game. They slowed this game down. We decided to run the ball a bunch too. We're cool with that. You want to slow the game down? We'll slow it down. Passing game seemed to be working okay. We leaned on the run. It was working okay. And, in the end, it was close. We almost gave it up. We outscore the Falcons 14-3 in the first half. Then we get outscored 15-7 in the second half. But it's enough for the Saints to win. We pull off the victory. We improve to 5-9. Okay, let's take a look at the stats. Andy Dalton, 11 of 17 for 151 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. It's been over a month since Dalton's thrown an interception. He was sacked twice. Taysom Hill, he threw the ball twice, completed both of them. One of them, a long bomb, 60-plus yards to Rashid Shaheed for a touchdown. That was something that I thought the Saints needed to do in every game. Get Taysom Hill involved early, throwing the ball, so that it keeps the safeties honest and deep, and then you can run with Taysom after that. And we did it in this game. He throws the ball in the first quarter, takes a deep shot. That's what you want. You get your running quarterback to take a deep shot. That way the safeties stay back. And then Hill has more space to run. The running game, Alvin Kamara got involved, 21 carries, 91 yards. That's an average of 4.3 a carry. A key for the Saints to make sure Alvin Kamara gets plenty of touches. And Taysom Hill, 7 carries, 30 yards. That's an average of 4.3 a carry. And yeah, taking that deep shot in the first quarter opens stuff up for Hill to run the ball. This is the way you do it. Now, I would like to convert more third downs, which would be nice. In the game, we converted 5 of 11. You want to be at least 50%. 5 of 11 is okay. Atlanta converted 9 of 16. They converted 4 more third downs than we did. And it shows in the number of plays. We had 55 total plays, which is just a joke, on 10 drives. 55 plays. Atlanta had 10 drives. They had 69 plays. 14 more plays. And, of course, you convert 4 more third downs. Then you get 3 more plays at least. That's 12 extra plays. They had 14 more plays than us. So that's the way it goes when you're not converting third downs. But the running game was okay. It was solid. David Johnson, 4 carries, 12 yards. He fumbled in the red zone. That's a backbreaker. Andy Dalton scrambled twice for 1 yard. So altogether, we ran the ball 34 times for 134 yards. That's staying committed to the run. Overall, it's right under 4 yards a carry, but, we threw the ball, 21 pass plays, 34 rushing plays, and we won the game. That's the way it goes. I'd like to be more productive when we are running the ball, especially on third downs, but okay, wide receivers, Rashid Shaheed, once again, getting involved, 4 targets, 3 catches, 95 yards and a touchdown. Shaheed had 2 punt returns for 1 yard. And to me, that was a disappointment. But he's proving very valuable as a wide receiver, easily as good as Deontay Hardy. I'm assuming Hardy's not going to be with this team after this year. Tight end Juwan Johnson. Now, in training camp and preseason, Juwan Johnson was struggling. He had shown that he had improved at run blocking, but he was dropping a lot of balls in practice. And when I made my 53-man prediction, I thought carrying 4 tight ends was a little excessive. And at that point, when I did that video, it looked like Juwan Johnson was on the edge of getting cut by this team. I didn't think we were going to keep him, even though I knew the value of him and I liked the idea. If we were going to keep him, he would be like our 3rd tight end, and we just keep getting him better and better at run blocking. Well, he turned a corner. We kept him, and, he's number 2 in the league in receiving touchdowns by tight ends at this point. He catches 4 balls for 67 yards on 6 targets, and he scores 2 touchdowns. Juwan Johnson, Rashid Shaheed, these 2 players look like they're going to be involved in the future for this franchise. Along with Chris Olave, who was targeted 4 times, he caught 3 balls for 53 yards. Alvin Kamara, 2 catches on 2 targets for 13 yards. Adam Prentice had 1 catch for 3 yards on 1 target. The passing game was okay. I think we could have passed the ball about 5 more times, but 2 players that were targeted and did not make a reception, Adam Troutman at tight end and wide receiver Jarvis Landry, having no targets, no catch, 1 target, no catches. I mean, Landry, I don't know what's going on here, but we got a game coming up against his former team, the Browns, and seeing how Landry hasn't been productive or very involved this season is a real bummer for me. But Rashid Shaheed steps up, Juwan Johnson steps up, and overall 21 points. Hey, as long as the defense is holding teams to under 20 points, 20 or under, we should be winning these games. Offensively, we did just enough. We almost lost it in the end, though. Let's talk about the defense now. Did a great job for the majority of the game, as usual. Linebacker Demario Davis, 8 total tackles. Safety Marcus May, 7 total tackles, 2 passes defended. Shy Tuttle, 7 total tackles. Tyrann Mathieu, 6 total tackles, a sack, 2 passes defended. Great game by Mathieu. Carl Granderson continues his strong play with 6 total tackles and a half a sack. Alontae Taylor, 4 total tackles, 3 passes defended. Taylor looks like a stud in this game. He had his hands on 2 balls that he could have picked off. One of them would have been a very long pick 6. It was there. And it's funny because Taylor's so quick that sometimes he gets to the spot too quick. And that was an instance. He read the play perfectly, jumped the route, was in between the ball and the receiver so quickly that when he was going to make the interception, he kind of had to reach back for the ball because he was already heading to the end zone, the other end of the field, and he dropped it. Have we ever had cornerbacks that could hold on to the ball? I mean, Darren Sharper at safety sure could hold on to the ball. I guess Jabari Greer had a few good years. Tracy Porter, held on to that one in the Super Bowl. Yeah, it's just one of them things. We have a lot of great players in the secondary. I just wish they could come up with more interceptions. David Onyemata, defensive tackle, 4 total tackles, a tackle for a loss. Pete Werner working his way back into playing form. He had 4 total tackles. Caden Ellis had 4 total tackles and a sack. Contavious Street had a great game, 3 total tackles, a sack and a half. Cam Jordan, 3 total tackles, a tackle for a loss. Malcolm Roach, 3 total tackles, a tackle for a loss. 2 other notes. Justin Evans forces a fumble late in the game. Bradley Roby recovers it for the Saints. It was a pivotal point, even though we couldn't get anything going and couldn't end the game after that. We managed to turn it over on downs and give Atlanta 2-3 more plays to try to win this thing. But they don't. All right, so overall, it was the same old Saints. We're when we have a game where we got penalized 6 times for 46 yards. Not terrible, but uh, Atlanta was penalized 3 times for 30 yards. So overall, not a lot of penalties, but the Saints got the brunt of it. It's third downs. I mean, you're converting 5 third downs on 10 drives. Things got to be better. We had a chance to put this team away. We score a touchdown, they have to punt. We score another touchdown, they have to punt. At one point in that third drive, it was 2nd and 1. Kamara gets blown up in the backfield, makes it like 3rd and 4, and then a penalty. All of a sudden, it's 3rd and 9, and we have to punt. We don't convert that third down. We have to punt. So we go from a 2nd and 1 to a 3rd and 9 and have to punt. And then, Atlanta gets down there and kicks a field goal. We end up getting into the red zone and David Johnson fumbles. It's stuff like that'll drive you crazy that this team's good at, the inconsistencies. And in there at the end of the game, we force a turnover. All we have to do is get one more first down, and this game's basically over. It's 3rd and 1. We can't convert. 4th and 1. We put Taysom Hill under center, which he never does, and he fumbles the exchange, which, of course, is probably the reason he doesn't take the ball from under center. 4th and 1, he's under center. He fumbles the ball. He recovers it. But, down. Turnover on downs, and then Atlanta's got a chance. Stuff like that we could have easily lost this game. It's depressing, We force a fumble, but we lose a fumble. Hill loses a fumble, but recovers it, and it was a turnover on downs anyway. Just a dumb play call. It's stuff like that I can't be sold on Pete Carmichael. You finally throw at Taysom Hill in the first quarter, great. You're committed to the running game, great. And then you make, a call like that on 4th and 1. I don't know if I would have punted in that instance. I don't know what I would have done in that instance. I think I would have passed a little more. Atlanta's not great against the pass, and our passing game was working. I liked the fact that we ran the ball. It was productive to a point, but there is no go for the kill instinct with this team offensively. We have deficits at quarterback, but overall, Andy Dalton's been fine. Finishes with a quarterback rating of over 130 and no turnovers once again. This is what Andy Dalton's done all year. He's protected the ball. Everyone remembers that 3-interception game against Arizona. And that was a long time ago. The man he doesn't turn the ball over. He's not going to go out and put his foot on the neck of the team either. But I think Dalton might be an option for another 1 or 2 year contract next year. I don't think we're going to retain Winston. Dalton's an option. There's a lot of free agents out there at quarterback next year. I think we should draft somebody, probably the best one in the second round. That's what I'm thinking. Best quarterback available on the draft board whenever we finally draft, and then signing a veteran. And if you're going to go get Teddy Bridgewater, who's about as good as Garoppolo, but it would be a whole lot cheaper, or you stick with Andy Dalton, something like that, like a bridge, and then you work the rookie in. I think that's where the Saints are going to be next year. I don't want to put all the chips in and go after a guy like Lamar Jackson, because I don't believe in paying a quarterback $40-something million, because you're not going to have a good team around him. I'm convinced of that. So we'll see how it goes. That's my prediction. Draft a quarterback. You keep a good veteran. Andy Dalton is not winning a lot of games, but he's not personally losing those games either. And you hope to get better on defense. Personally, I think we should trade Demario Davis and just ride with Pete Werner and Caden Ellis next year at linebacker. Might only get a fourth-round pick for Davis, but somebody that's in need of a veteran, good player, they might be willing to do that. I don't want to lose Davis. He's got a great cap number for as good as he is. He is getting older, but we're gonna have to save some money somehow. I think I think we should keep Michael Thomas, and hopefully he's healthy enough to play next year. Kamara is an option. I love Alvin Kamara. He's just haven't been greatly productive. And when other players in the league have 3 times as many rushing touchdowns as you do, Kamara's a good threat. You know what I would do? I would trade Alvin Kamara and I would sign Tony Pollard in free agency, and I would give him an offer he can't refuse, $12 million a year, up to $15 million a year for Tony Pollard. I'd do that. I mean, that's Kamara's hanging around right around that number, between 15 and 20 million. By the end of Kamara's contract, it'll be 20-something million. I don't know what kind of hit we would take for trading Kamara, but I think Tony Pollard is that kind of a player. So lots of moves the Saints could make. We'll talk more about the offseason as we get there. And, we're supposed to enjoy it. You take a win however you can get it in this league, especially against your nemesis, your arch rival. And we managed to win against Atlanta. Well, that's what everyone's saying. And yeah, we swept Atlanta. And, you got to find the silver lining in these kind of seasons. It's a little, too late for me. I can't get that excited at this point about sweeping Atlanta. When their quarterbacks are Mariota and Ritter, and they were predicted to win next to nothing this year, sweeping them it's kind of like one of the only things that I expected to happen that actually happened. That's where I'm at. Toward the end of this week, I believe I will have a chance to preview this Christmas Eve game between the Saints and the Browns. Until then, I'm Joe. Subscribe to Rosenfield 10 for more videos like this, and I'll talk to you later. Who dat?